All right, folks. Good Thursday morning. Wow, what a what a week, a shortened week. Excuse me. This has been, man. There was a lot of blue collar work going on this morning. Excuse me. God, dropping dead here. We're going to talk about Davey Day Trader because I mean, him and Kramer going back and forth. So you got a guy sitting here in a Hawaiian shirt with his necklaces on, needs a haircut, and he's just ripping. Well, this morning on the Squawk or whatever the hell these guys are called, this guy brought up Dave Portnoy and Kramer in the suit, and Kramer's like, "Look at me, I got a nice suit on today." It's comical what's going on. I'm grabbing pop. Look at this. There's nothing better going on at Royal Caribbean and Carnival. You get out of these things are stupid. Dave Portnoy. It doesn't matter. Stocks only go up, and then they turn around and end up mentioning them on TV. And I mean, this is pure comedy. I love this because, well, I was going to say I was this guy. I wasn't this guy. I didn't dress like that. My haircut was a hell of a lot sharper, and I don't wear jewelry other than a ring and a watch. And then I went over and I was this guy. So I've look at him. He's like, "Oh, I'm wearing a nice suit," but he's making fun of me. This will end in tears. This whole "it doesn't matter, stocks only go up." I mean, stocks don't only go up, folks. And we're going to talk about how the biggest threat to this market, and Maggie over in the Max Afterburner group did a great job. She posted some good intel. This is the truth. Return of March panic is the biggest risk to the S&P 500 right now, folks. So, and you ready for this? When, not if, when the panic returns, these people are going to be destroyed. They don't know what they're doing. I told you years ago that, I mean, this guy, I get it's a little bit of theater, but, he's like, game over. The dude he runs around and it's just nuts. But I remember being up in Chicago visiting my old firm, and one of my buddies, one of the partners pointing to the floor, he's like, "Dude, this is terrifying." He's like, "We have people trading here." This is obviously pre-COVID, but that, I have portfolio managers that have never seen a down market. Right? They were in college when the financial crisis hit. Now since the Fed in 2008 ended capitalism and decided to support everything, so this is another reason, in doing research for my book, another reason this panic was so, we took the escalator up and the window down, was because young folk hadn't seen this, right? And they're all at firms with who? Leon Cooperman, Jeffrey, all these guys going, "Oh, this is this is where you buy the dip." That's, well, not there. Here, not there. Here's where you buy. And so I'm rambling, but what I'm getting at is this has been pure comedy all morning. So this guy's like Davey Day Trader Global, just sticking it to CNBC and Buffett and everybody. But exactly, whoever just wrote that, trading is all about risk management. This guy does not talk at all about risk management. All he talks about is stocks only going up, and it's insane. Scott, holy crap, man. I appreciate that. Hang on. I did not see that. Don't mind if I read this to the folk. So I got this wrong, guys. Amazon most likely will hit $3,000 way before my birthday. It's over $2,900 today. Hey, Wiz, 20 grand in 2 September and 2 October Amazon calls this week. In a week. I have never been there. Patience, persistence. Thank you, TGO. That's freaking awesome, Scott. That's just, you're right. It is about patience and determination. I mean, perfect example is today. We'll get through positions and what's going on. I want to grab that. That's awesome, Scott. Congrats. Very good stuff. You did a hell of a lot better than I did this week. Now I ended up. I mean, I'm not going to beat a dead horse with the Lulu. I mean, that just doesn't happen often. I can, on 2 fingers on my right hand, I can name the amount of times that I've had a news event hit me, at least the Top Gun options. The first time was the Microsoft, thing being named Alphabet blown out on a news event. Another was, Lulu this week, right? But here's where we are. U.S. daily coronavirus case count crosses 50,000. This is in the United States, 50,000. But I'm not going to be a liberal Democrat or part of the media, the mainstream media right now, and not tell you that the mortality rate's going lower. So the market doesn't have a conscience, right? We predicted coronavirus fatigue way. We nailed it. I said, I don't want to sound too bad, but the market's not going to care about people dying. We did initially, right? Thanks, Goose. I appreciate that. The repair trades, I kind of we'll talk Lulu in a little bit, but yeah, at the open Tuesday, if you logged in early, you saw that I bought calls that helped take the sting out of the. They ended up. I ended up. I think where's profitable or no, Susie. Yeah. Either way, I ended up green for the week in Lulu. So the repair trades were cool. So I'm glad people learned about that. But anyway, this is so the market doesn't care right now, right? Holy shit, Dennis. I know you've been doing the Lord's work. Hold on, let me. So here's Dennis, folks. And the reason I do this is because if you're Amazon, I don't want to raise my price target already and move it from 3,000 because then I'll jinx myself. But this is Amazon will keep going up. I don't want to sound like Dave Portnoy, but I'm not talking about stocks only going up. I'm talking about Amazon. I think the biggest risk to Amazon right now is Uncle Sammy, but they're not doing anything anytime soon. We'll see him testify. So look at Dennis. Dennis has been doing this, knocking out some blue collar work in Amazon. Update on my June 21st. He did this not 2 weeks ago. Amazon synthetic call from the beginning of Amazon Solo, up 92.6 on a single contract, ladies and gentlemen, on a single contract. That's fantastic. Good job, man. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about the Microsoft. I did 2 Microsoft trades this week, and both of them were about $3,000. So about $6,000 of Microsoft just in quick. We're going to talk about it when we get tactical about quick open trading because this is insane. Well, let me finish the brief and then we'll get tactical. But yeah, the Microsoft, what's it doing now? So I don't know if I got filled pre-market. All right, we'll get tactical now a little bit since we're looking at it because this was I'm no who was it, Joel over in the Max Afterburner group. He's like, dude, do you see visions other than in the market? I'm like, I see dead people too. So options, as everybody in this room knows, you can't trade options pre-market, right? And I hope to God, I pray to God that they never let you trade options pre or post-market. That'll be it for me. I'll retire because it'll suck. And I think that's why they won't. Quick story. So when commodities trade, folks, until 1 p.m. So the guys never changed the hours. Like in the CBOT, the dudes show up at 9:30 at the opening bell, and by 1 I'd go for a late lunch down there's a restaurant in the CBOT called Ceres. She's the statue on the top of the CBOT. I think she's the goddess of agriculture or something. Ceres, Ceres, the goddess of wheat or whatever she is. But the restaurant in the lobby is called Ceres. If you've ever taken a tour there, that's that restaurant. But I'd go down for a late lunch at 2 or 3, and the bar is packed with all the commodities dudes drinking. So at 1:01 when they got done trading, goddess of the harvest, it would be packed. I'm like, what the? So they never changed the hours. Funny story. This old guy died. He had been like a commodities trader on the I forget what he traded, but he died. They had the funeral, and it was packed. and the lady got up to thank all the traders for coming there, even though, they were taking away from their trading day, and everybody looked like, they're like, oh my God, he never told her that I think he told his wife that they traded normal, from 9:30 to 4, and he'd go and drink after the market closed at 1 for a couple hours with his buddies. Funny story. Anyway, so why the hell did I start talking about that? Bought because Microsoft. So you can trade stock, ladies and gentlemen. You can buy and sell stock after hours or before the market opens. So whenever I go to bed or wake up and I see like the futures are blindingly green, you know what happens? And I'm just kind of being a little remora fish with this. You know what happens? Little old lady in tennis shoes, or 23-year-old drunk guys following his pizza reviews, place orders overnight, right? They place orders overnight, and at the open, you can see all the pricing. This is why we call the first hour of trading, what do we call it? Amateur hour. This has been like shooting fish in a barrel. I forget when earlier in the week I did Microsoft as well. It's because the prices are all over the place, right? All these orders, as soon as the opening bell fires, what do you see? It's a shit show. Ones and zeros firing literally around the world. And it takes, even though, computers are involved, it takes a little while for the price to settle. So, for example, 2 times this week with Microsoft, when I saw the futures blindingly green, it's Microsoft. Or you could get in most of the FAGMs. Ditch the F, though, because Facebook's going through its own advertising nightmare. And I just bought a boatload of shares. Bought, I think, the other day 4,000 shares, and today 4,000 shares. And within the first 5 to 10 minutes, I think I got, well, men lie, numbers don't. As soon as at the opening bell at 9:30 and 42 seconds, I got filled on 4,000 shares at 26, at 205.62, and out of them at this. It was $3,500. Now, that's not, I got to be honest with you, there's zero skill involved, right? And I'm going to say there's a little bit of luck. What do I mean by that? I mean, it makes sense that all these orders fire. A lot of people are jumping in and want to get bullish on it. But that fades. Once the price is known, look at this. It's within the first 15 minutes, guys. Look at that. So in here, out here, take the $3,500 and I'm good. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Karen. Drop the F. Now it's gamma. That's a good one. So just a quick debrief on that. There wasn't anything great, but I think it was $3,100 the other day, $3,500 this morning, $6,600 this week just in Microsoft. If I had gotten my ass kicked in Lulu, would have been some nice stuff. But this isn't skill. This is, and the converse can happen too. If the futures are blindingly red, you could do it in the exact opposite direction. Buy some puts or anything like that. So, okay. Modi, did I buy at the money calls? No, I bought the stock. The only times in my life I do any sort of stock trading is this type of stuff. And over in Susie's account, she's doing the same thing with Apple, more or less. So it's just a quick strike in and out, and it's good stuff. But again, that's not, to be honest with you though, that's good living, Lace. Ooh, bam. There we go. What time is it? 10 days. First hour of trading, folks, amateur hour. Look at the S&P 500. Here we go. So hopefully you logged in early and you saw an S&P 500 trade. Where's that one? There you go. That's up $1,000 right now. So good morning so far, but there's a lot of freaking red on that screen. All right. So this is, again, we got it right here at Top Gun Options, right around here. I said, that's it, I'm done. Nothing makes sense. Just freaking, this is insane, but I'm going to smoke the Fed hopium. Right around here, I went from being cautiously bullish to neutral to bearish. Okay. That wasn't good. This gentle descent, we flew into the ground here, and now we got to bounce. Okay. So my switch from cautiously bullish to neutral to bearish, good calls. Just ask me. But the question obviously is what's next? Okay. My call this morning, I mean, the S&P 500 call, bear call spread was talked about on my institutional call this morning. I would have done it on my own anyway, sold into this pop, just like the reverse of what I'm doing with Microsoft. So, Edmund, are you out in the first hour usually, or do you just watch price action? I'm out, Edmund. Let's go back to Microsoft. This is a perfect example. In futures were up 400 points or whatever it is. I just sit here, watched it. Pigs get slaughtered. I actually was over on my other computer doing some stuff in Susie's account, and I turned back around and it's like $3,600. I'm like, done. I don't care if it was going to keep going up with the price action. Pigs get slaughtered. So we actually, where did it get out? 940, whatever it was, right about here. It had another little leg up, but here we go. I knew this was going to happen. I am going to say this. I'm not going to just say this is all completely luck. I am going to say I've been doing this for 28 years. This is what happens. Overnight orders, pre-market orders. Oh my God, this market's going to be up huge today. Fire, 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 fire in the system. And then dudes like me go, suckers, out. If I weren't doing our weekly debrief, I'd be going to the gym right now. Then I wouldn't look at the market the rest of the day. I'd take that $3,500 Microsoft in the first 15 minutes to be done. Folks, I have buddies that do that. I got buddies that trade their own account. They don't run a fund or anything like that, but they have their own very, very large account. Let's call them a family office. And this is the shit they do, man. That was an easy 10 grand today or whatever. I'm done for the day. Right? So that's great training. Thank you, Thomas. But again, guys, this isn't Top Gun Options isn't a day trading service. I hate it. Well, no, I don't hate making $3,500 in 15 minutes. But that's just not, I'm here to teach you about options, not teach you to day trade stock. But hey, man, if I could put the ladder down and give you some intelligence on what I'm also doing, it's hopefully that helps you out. But let's get back to here. This is, it really is insanity, right? This picture alone to me screams civil war. It screams social unrest. I use those words back here, folks. I didn't know it was going to be about race. I thought it was going to be about this chart. So I got that wrong, but I got the civil unrest right. How many of you actually listened to me back here when I said, go buy guns and ammo, a shitstorm is coming? Nailed that prediction too. But I thought it was going to be because of this. Why am I rambling about this? Because this will exacerbate what's happening. Once they finish tearing down all the statues in America and start looking around for the next thing to be pissed off about, they're going to be pissed off about this. I've gone from going out in Fort Lauderdale. Well, now you really can't go out anymore. Bars are closed again down here because we got an election coming. I've kind of throttled back on my spike in the football, man. I don't want people know that we're doing well. But this is nuts. A lot of guys in the market and gals, this is the craziest thing I've seen in my stock market career. There's nothing clearly in my 28 years, I've never seen anything like this. Modi, we're getting to the jobs report, man. You got to walk it on down. So this was a coin flip. Okay, what do I mean by that? Unless you were in the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, you had no idea what was going to happen. So this was a little bit of a coin flip. Okay, let me keep the S&P up here because it looks like the air's coming out of the market again. There you go. So there you go. That's going to be the trend. Why am I saying it? When you see a headline like this, it could go either way. Because how many times did I tell you this week? Probably 3 or 4 that if I put one of these up here, the best thing for you to do if I'm flying around clueless is to not do anything, right? We had some pretty good Apple bull put spread is up 25% from, what was it, yesterday? I mean, when we did some good work this week, but at the end of the day, today was going to be a coin flip, meaning they could be horrific. And who asked me yesterday? Somebody asked me yesterday, Wiz, what do you think we're going to do on the jobs report tomorrow? I said, I have no idea. I have no idea. And I'm glad I said that because I did have no idea. Okay. So the jobless rate fell to 11.1% in June. The employment report doesn't reflect recent government mandated business closures and related layoffs. The jobs report is looking when, folks? Somebody help me out. Here. Boing. What happened here, folks? Right? It's old data. So it's already old. I know you care about the jobs report, ladies and gentlemen, for what? For today's trading. I cared about the jobs report today so I could buy a shitload of Microsoft at the open and get out of it. What's happened? And second of all, this is a lie. That's a lie, isn't it? Everybody, you know where I'm going with this. If not, if you're new, welcome to, let me tell you that the government has agreed to lie to you. Why? Because the actual unemployment rate is what? Somebody lay it on me. 18%. What are you talking about, Wiz? U3 is the official unemployment rate. It's 11.1, Wiz. That's a lie. You're lying to me. You're lying to the American people. Every 2 years, it seems like some new enterprising Republican congressman comes in and says, I'm introducing a bill to make you sick. Next. What? Next. It will never happen. Politicians like you three because it's a lie. This is the actual unemployment rate. Do you know who used to run around screaming about U6 when he was a civilian? Somebody lay it on me. You don't need to write the letters Trump in your chat box. I'll tell you. Under Barack Hussein Obama, Citizen Trump used to excoriate Barack Hussein Obama. He's lying. The real unemployment rate's this. Did you see that in the press conference this morning? You didn't. Because the president can be a hypocrite too. There you go, SPX. Slide for life, baby, into the close. So it's a lie. Ladies and gentlemen, never in my life have I seen 18% in this box. Or duh, 22.8. This, exactly, Marilyn, I enunciated excoriate. China. We also talked this week about the Fed's, the Main Street lending program. So back to this. The Main Street lending program, the Wall Street Journal headlines uses the word lukewarm. Main Street and Wall Street are doing that. That delta, ladies and gentlemen, right here is going to be bad. It's not good for Donald Trump or him getting reelected. This morning, the St. Louis guy, Bullard, he's a hawk. There were reports that Trump, a year, 2 years ago, or actually, let's just say for the past 3 years, that the Fed chief has been in place and he's hated him. Bullard was going to be his replacement. This guy was, he's a Trumpish dude. This morning, Bullard warned that a growing number of bankruptcies due to COVID could lead to a financial crisis. I don't think you've been keeping up on current events, man, but we just got our asses kicked. We are in a financial crisis, Mr. President. Bullard warned of twists and turns in the health crisis and said it's probably prudent to keep our lending facilities in place for now, even though it's true that liquidity has improved dramatically in financial markets. Translation. What happened earlier in the week? Jerome Powell actually used these words in front of Congress. We will put those tools back in the tool shed or toolbox, whichever one he said. He said, we're going to put these tools away when things get better. Meaning, hey, man, there ain't no forever put underneath this market. I'm warning you. What did the market do? I sat there where I was chatting in the Max Afterburner group. I'm like, oh, man, that's bad. Nothing. Oh, well, aren't I an idiot? So I am going to take a hit this week, ladies and gentlemen, and say we did this. I'm getting a little. You ready for this? My hand's shaking when but I'm gonna. Let's save this officially for Monday. I don't know, man. I'm hearing Black Lives Matter, July 4th. I'm hearing protest, North Korea. I'm gonna write this on the screen and I'm gonna reserve it for Monday because I reserve the right for something to happen over a 3-day weekend. There it is. Can't believe I'm writing that. I am back to biggest C in the world, littlest B in the world. I am a hair's breadth between cautiously bullish but that's where we have to be, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, Maggie did a great job posting this in the group this morning. Return of March panic is the biggest risk. We got hedge fund dude John Paulson. I predicted the housing market implosion. Yeah, it's going, baby. I told you. Look at these sell orders coming in. Boom, boom, boom. What's our bear call spread doing for today? SPX up. Mine's up $2,000. 3 + 2 in the Microsoft. It's $5,000 today, and it's not even. I'd be done. I'd be out. I'd be on the boat. B means bullish in this case. Cautious. I'd never be cautiously bearish. But anyway, so hedge funds are imploding. They don't know how to trade this market. So enough rambling out of me. What am I getting at? My knees are aching, my back's aching, everything's aching, guys. But I'm taking a shitload of Advil, and I'm good. So, like I said, I would rather miss a couple points of upside in the next, if there's a next leg up, than be early. We're options traders, folks. In the blink of a Fed press release, I went from being, holy shit, man, we're going to W, to holy shit, man. Well, actually, that is a W. I meant another leg down. We actually did W. It's like a sideways W. Up, down, freaking up. So I cannot stress the importance to you of we need always. I told you last week, I'm like, I'm going to start backing towards the back row of the theater here. I'm going to go sit in the back row where the dudes who yell fire are sitting. And I'm going to have one foot. I'm going to be in the car before people realize the theater's on fire. Okay? Let's also remember right now that we've kind of, look at this resistance. It was 30. My buddy on the call this morning said it was like 3172. He actually gave an exact number on S&P. We zipped through that today with some airspeed. Okay, so with this roof back here was 3172-ish, I think he said. Yes, I wrote it down, 3172. But we're starting to do the slide for life. Nobody on my call this morning, ladies and gentlemen, was like, I am keeping everything through the weekend. So, ladies and gentlemen, as the day goes on, first of all, after I get done this debrief, I'm going to go for a run. I'm most likely going to close this. I might close this by, there's an 83% probability of making $4,700 today. So it wouldn't be a bad day. Okay, but let's pull up the chart of the S&P 500. Maybe I should have drawn it like this. There we go, folks. So look at this. There's the gap. We gapped open. We gapped up at the open on this jobs report, and I said it would fade, folks. I wrote this. So this is another. You really should, if you're interested in the stuff we're doing over here in Afterburner, man. Where is it? 8:45 this morning. I'm going to fade the rally at the open with an SPX bear call spread. I knew this was going to happen. So Joel, before you asked me if I see visions of other stuff, I knew this is what was going to happen today. Positive news, all the overnight orders going into the market, and fade the hell out of that. So, Ray, shouldn't we stay bullish with the Fed put until the Fed says it's out of the picture? Yes and no. So, Ray, the reason we made millionaires back here was because we knew we were not, well, we weren't early. We nailed it back here in January. You want to be out before that, Ray, but you're kind of right. But here's where I was this week, Ray, or actually last week. I think I used the term. I used the term Fed fatigue last week. Okay, and then we had that 1800 down day, which was fantastic. If you had the Russell puts and long volatility. So enough rambling out of me. What I'm getting at, folks, is I got a headache. The hopium hangover from this run up here. I am very leery about where we are. When you got retail traders doing the whole stocks only go up, everybody jump into the pool, it worries me. Not worry because I can't sleep tonight. Worries me that a couple things. This is good. I'm going to give this guy credit right here. A couple things to remember. Nobody has ever traded through a global pandemic. I have as much experience as the suits here. The market has no connection to reality, and stocks always go up. He had me until that. The end stocks always go up could get you in trouble with the government, Mr. Portnoy. Right? So, and obviously Davy Dave wasn't doing this stuff back here. Davy Dave started this stuff in here. Well, even a blind squirrel could find a couple nuts as this. Well, we could, but he's right that the suits. I think I'm going to sue him for copyright infringement. Oh, hey, real quick, I rarely share stuff like this, but I'm going to share this. So the guy with all the really bad reviews of Top Gun options, he's a criminal. His name is Emmett Moore. He served 3 years in prison for securities fraud. He called me years ago and said, if you don't pay me X amount, I'm going to post a lot of bad shit about you. I'm like, click. I have no idea who this dude is. And he did post bad shit about me. He does negative reviews of everybody who doesn't pay him, except the 2 companies that he owns that, of course, he gave 5 stars for. I'm suing the shit out of this guy. 6 counts. Already filed. Here's my attorney. Here's my lead attorney on the case. I want to give you a quick update. First of all, his attorney is his wife. They're an interesting Bonnie and Clyde team. They're refusing service of the lawsuit. They're hiding. This guy also sued him because somebody else sued him because of all the false and defamatory stuff. I just wanted to give you a little update. This man's a coward. He's a criminal. He's a felon. He stole 600, whatever it is, hundreds of millions of dollars from people like you. And he writes negative shit about me. I will see you in court, Mr. Moore, you coward. Come out from under your rock. So he's refused to accept or waive service. We're gonna serve his ass. And if not, we're gonna go to court. So Mr. Moore, I will see you in court, you effing coward. Hide behind your wife partner attorney. I love this stuff. I've been quiet about that because I just don't like airing dirty laundry, but that's not dirty laundry. I love dealing with people who are cowards. Disgrace. Anyway, so here's what I'm getting at. I don't know why that came up, but just in the sense that nobody has traded in a market like this. We said this back here, folks. As this market imploded and the dudes on TV told you to buy stocks all the way on the way down, we laughed at them as a group, didn't we? We took the opposite side of every one of those trades. Oh, I'd be a buyer here. You're an idiot. I'd be a seller here. So we did the Lord's work on the way down. But I'm telling you guys, I really want you to be very careful up here. Okay? Very, very careful. This is not for the faint of heart. You know. Anyway, all right. So debrief of the week. We beat the hell out of the Lulu dead horse. That was just folks. That was a missile. I mean, it just you can't see that. Paying $500 billion for an iPad, and there you go. Gap up at the open. This could have been another one that you traded like this. There was no way this thing was going to sustain that pop. So hopefully everybody got their repair trades on, and you did the Lord's work. I hope everybody's good to go on that. We debriefed, how to dogfight that. Buying calls at the open. You could have gotten out of these short calls and let the long calls run in the bear call spread. There's a lot of ways we could have skinned that cat, but if you dogfight that appropriately, you can turn it. You can put some lipstick on that pig, and we did that. Apple is a gift that keeps on giving. We got into a bull put spread yesterday on Apple, and it's whoa, damn it, I could have done that too. Actually, Susie's got some. She's got the three. You know what? Let me go over to her account since we're talking through some of that stuff. Let me get out of that one. Susie and Wiz. Patrick, Lulu was a great lesson for me. Repair trade will put in 100% profit holding the July 31st spread. Yeah, and that was another mistake I had this week. This was not my best week, man. I fired a wrong expiration. That wasn't what she has. Okay, so she's got the 367.5 short calls. So she's long 1,400 shares of Apple, which is looking pretty good. And the short calls are looking pretty good. Sweet. Disney. Is Disney fading? Is it going to be a photo finish with Disney? This would have been another one I would have sold like something right at the open. These charts, man. I think it's my laptop. I got some. I don't know what the hell this. Wow, look at that. This is going to be a photo finish today, man. Wow. So, Paul, I need more info on repair trades. I got blown out. Well, let's talk through that, folks. Or I talked through it earlier in the week, guys. Listen to me. But I'll say this again because it's a good lesson learned. This doesn't happen. It doesn't happen often, guys. This doesn't happen often. I told you. I'm not lying when I tell you this. Or no, I think there was another time, but it didn't really. Oh, no, it was. Raytheon, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news, Raytheon and United Technologies are going to merge. What happened? This was back when we were like trading weekly options for Raytheon. It was like we had a blast. It gapped up. Bear call spread, in trouble. What did Wiz do? I added a repair trade up here. Why? Because first of all, they weren't going to come out Friday and re-announce the merger. They weren't going to do it Thursday, Wednesday, or Tuesday as well. They did it, and it gapped up. So I knew that was going to fade. This wasn't an announcement to be sustained. Remember, if there's a breaking news thing that sounds like it's going to be freaking awesome, Apple, Jeff Bezos, and Amazon have literally bought the Death Star, and they're going to kill all their competitors. That's a news item that would actually do that. So I wouldn't put on a repair trade. That if something goes on a tear, you either join it or get out of the way. With Raytheon, that was not the case. It was a gap move, and what happened? I think almost that day, or definitely Tuesday, the stock did what? That. Because it actually wasn't that good of news initially. It was going to be actually looking at what am I mumbling about? Looking at the math, the market actually said, I don't know if we like this. And oh, by the way, there's a lot of legal hurdles. What happened? What happened Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen? Tuesday, Donald Trump was interviewed. Was it on CNBC, Fox Business? What did Donald Trump say Tuesday? He actually mentioned the merger. He goes, I'm not sure about that from a regulatory point of view. Raytheon, he said the words Raytheon out of his mouth. I turned and looked at the chart, and it went down even further. So, Microsoft changing its name to Alphabet, Raytheon merging with United Technologies or being acquired, and Lulu. Out of the three of them, folks, this is actually the one that didn't fade the most, right? Look at this. That's about half the gap right there. Technically, that should be bullish. I'm not going to say it is because I think the merger's dumb. And the CEO interview this week, he said what? He's like, it's probably not going to make money for a year. Excuse me? Right? Or Google, not Microsoft. I'm sorry. Thanks, Doug. So yeah, I said that twice. I'm sorry. I have Microsoft on the brain. But here's what I'm getting at. So yeah, Jeff, we can. I think I do in Full Throttle talk through repair trades or how to handle a bear call spread that goes against you. But guys, here's the point. Tuesday morning in the primary live trade brief, hopefully everybody attended because we put on repair trades. It got up to what? Like 3.7 right here around 3:15. This is Tuesday morning, folks, at the primary live trade brief at like 9 whatever. You could see me put on repair trades. I bought calls at the open, closed them when it peaked, and added bear call spreads. I think what was it? The 315, 317 and a half. Those are at max profit right now. Right? So thanks, JP. Yeah, you had on the screen before class started for everyone. I'm trying to help out, guys, by doing stuff early. Jeff, these are the first repair trades I've tried, not back to even, but removing the sting. That's exactly what it's about, Jeff. And to be honest with you, some of the folks in Afterburner even did more repairish trades by doing what? Somebody tell me what they did. Since it didn't fill this gap, what could you have done? Lisa did a great job. Lisa's a freaking 500-pound head over in Max Afterburner. She was a proprietary trader. She put on a bull put spread down here. So you could have done some good work this week, turning Lulu from a kick in the gut to being very profitable on it. Does that make sense? Paul, yeah, I have to be more nimble and more confident. It's me, not you. It's not me, it's you. So, that's funny. Doug, yeah, guys, many of you, based on the questions you're asking, clearly didn't attend the PLTB or watch the replay. So this was all covered. This is kind of a weekly debrief to review stuff, and I will, but everybody needs to watch replays and stuff like this. Gary, I am in solo Amazon. Can I get in the trade briefs? I don't know what you mean by the trade briefs. You're in a trade brief, Gary. And if you're in solo Amazon, you're in that trade brief too. If you're talking about the Max Afterburner group, that's a separate thing. And you can shoot me an email if you want to get into that. Jeff, you're doing a good job, Wiz. I'm still new in the option space and building my situational awareness levels. Yeah, man. No, this is good. This is why I'm taking some time to do this, guys, to talk through. This is a debrief, man. Thursday morning, weekly debrief. Let's get some lessons learned from the week. Initially, it was a shit sandwich. Again, Monday afternoon when they announced it, I just laughed. It was like the Google, not Microsoft, announcement changing its name. I was at the gym. I'm like, what? Stock's up 5%. I'm like, okay, I got to get up tomorrow morning and fix this thing. Okay. But Doug, yeah, the 7/31 expiration was wrong. Okay. So I added weekly repair trades to fix my misfire. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's go back to SPX. There's a little bounce. That's a little dead. So good top out, implosion, dead bad bounce, big sell order. I'm probably, like I said, I'm probably going to get out of this before I go to hot yoga. Karen, it's your fighter pilot brain. Shuck and jive. That's exactly what you need to do. Jesse, I'm still holding the bear call spread that is out. Folks, this is so even with the Fed drunkenness, ladies and gentlemen. So let's review what the commit criteria were for me getting into Lulu. Folks, the week before, so last week, what did, if you're in Lulu right now and you didn't come up with your own commit criteria, or at least write mine down and go, those things are awesome, you're trading wrong. Last week, Nike had a surprise what, ladies and gentlemen, fill in the blank, miss. Everybody was like, Nike, man, people are stuck at home. Amazon's going through the roof. Nike's earnings are going to be awesome. Nike earnings sucked. Oh, shit. So I translated that, and we got a retail guy in our group, or he trades a lot of retail, who said, "Nah, man, Lulu is destined." Think about it. How many? I'm sitting in my Lulus right now, all of it. Lulu is the official wear of Davey Dave Trading Group. How much more Lulu do I need? I don't. So the initial, we're all stuck at home, let's just lounge around in yoga gear and start drinking at 10 in the morning, is over. It doesn't, it's not sustainable, in my opinion. Okay. So, better trading for July 31st bear call spread you sent out in text. What would you recommend? Doing closer bear call spreads. I just keep doing them. I'd hold that bear call spread and do more, folks. Well, let's talk through it. I'll do one out the next Friday, and I'll do it live right now. This is Susie's account. Goose, I agree with that. I'm hearing the same thing. So Goose said, Wiz, my hedge buddy told me Lulu paid a premium for the advertising ability of the giant iPad. I agree with that. All the after action reports, all the debriefs that I've seen on this thing, it's not good. I'm telling you, folks, after doing this for 28 years and doing consulting with Fortune 500 companies and mom and pop tire stores, whenever you hear a CEO go, we give you 50 minutes of bullshit about how great an acquisition was, and then finally gets around to the punchline of, yeah, it's not going to make money for a while. I'm like, you could have led with that and then given me all the fluff. Okay. So for everybody that's asking, look at Lulu, folks. The ceiling resistance was where? Resistance is futile. 320. We haven't even got. We kind of, yay, that's a great acquisition. Now it kind of sucks. I'd add like a 320 out above. JT, that's a great metric. The longer the CEO talks, the more you know that the deal is BS. I loved it. I sat there and watched that guy on CNBC, and he was just like, he was Jim Cramer, man. He had a cowbell and air horn talking about how great everything was. And then when I literally laughed out loud. Usually when I text LOL, I didn't. I usually just smirked. I laughed out loud when the dude's like, but it's not going to make money for a year. But anyway, it's fantastic. I'm like, no. So 320 is resistance on this thing. Maybe a bear call spread out to next Friday on a 320. I'd keep doing these, guys. And exactly. I know I'm a CEO. And you could, if you wanted to, well, I was going to say, maybe iron condor the thing up here at 320, and then maybe down here at 295 or 300. Maybe this is iron condor time. This was that was a good run, iron condor. This was a good area for an iron condor. I'd at least start with a bear call spread here. Yeah, maybe we look into a wide iron condor. The reason I'm hemming and hawing about that, and if there's any doubt, there's no doubt, is because I think the bias is more in that direction. Even though I'm back to being cautiously bullish, the more the math gets thrown at me. I mean, when you see a headline like this, folks, how many of these 50,000 people are running out or getting on Amazon today to buy Lulu as they're laying in a hospital bed? It just doesn't. It's not computing for me. But let's at least look at the bear call spread here. out the next Friday. 323, John, I'm still, the buddies that I talk to are still doing the whole, it's way too quiet in North Korea, which is telling. So, now I'd go 320. I was going to go a little lower. I'm going to go a little bit more conservative. I like this risk to reward ratio. It's right around my 1 to 0.3. Anything under 1 to 0.3, I kind of, Ryan, yeah, I just kind of mumbled through that 10 minutes ago, folks. You could have done, people did. I just said Lisa over in the Max Afterburner group did a great job by repairing her Lulu with a bull put spread as well. I think she added a repair trade. So, folks, if you did added a bear call spread and a bull put spread this week, you made money. You actually did really well on Lulu this week. Okay, so yeah, yep, absolutely. But let's start doing this stuff. So I'm gonna wait maybe until in Monday's weekly options. My bias, folks, is we give a little bit of all this back, and if something bad happens over the weekend, maybe by Monday it's forgotten about. Depends on how bad it is. If not, Monday we could see we could see this, folks. This is kind of a slinky right now. Implosion, bounce, implosion, bounce, bounce, or keep going, or do we get back down here to this? Do we are we chopping around here for the dog days of summer? Remember, folks, we're in July. What is happening in 29 days, allegedly? And to be honest with you, to be honest with you, on the call this morning, a guy brought up a good point. With this blowout jobs number, Republicans and other alleged fiscal hawks, the need for a second stimulus is starting to get lower. Donald Trump just spiked the football this morning. Yeah, the air is coming out of this rally really good. Donald Trump spiked the football this morning that everything's super fun, fantastic time, man. It's, believe me, huge. Nobody does it better. Trust me. Why do we need another round of stimulus, Mr. President? So maybe we do just kind of slink around this 50-day, 200-day. These charts, I'm telling you, man. There we go. What did I tell you, man? Implosion, dead bat bounce, implosion. How's the spread looking? Oh, it's over in Susie's account. That spread's probably up at what, 60, 70% profit already? Everybody good with that one? So, and there you go. Goodbye, Disney. I mean, day ain't over yet, man. But this is why you stay disciplined, man. You stay. Look at that. Love it. All right, let's. Shit, I gotta stop talking about Lulu because Lulu might be giving up the ghost here. It's running away from us. Let's selling a single for training purposes. Selling a single July 10, 320 call. Buying the 322 and a half as a shit. I might have to go down a little bit, man. No, this is the. I'd rather say the word conservative. I'm not Davy Dave. I'm Wiz, and I go conservative on this one, or maybe in my PA, or this is Susie's account. Lulu 72. Yeah, we're grabbing a victory from the jaws of defeat here. It could have been an ugly week, and it wasn't. I actually turned it around. Nice little. I love it, man. I love this I love the market. I love how this type of stuff works. And once you get a feel for it, man, you're going to be like Neo in the Matrix, right? If you guys woke up this morning like, holy, you saw men lie, numbers don't. I told you at 8:45 this morning, or the afterburner folks, I'm fading the hell out of this rally. Look at the Dow. We were up 400 points. Now we're up 150. We might go negative for the day. Bob, if you sell a spread today that expires today and it expires worthless, does this count as a day trade to the IRS? It does, I believe. Bob, I'd ask your broker. Nice. Uh, okay, this is for Susie's account. I'm not. What's that? 25. Let me place this order for her. And just so you guys know, I do. After I get done these, because Jack's his mother's little portfolio manager. I brief you guys know me. I brief him on this. I'm trying to Matthew. Oh, damn it. Oh. All right. Well, I'll do the Lulu over in mine. Okay. Anthony, day trades need to be open and closed on the same day. Expired trades are not closed; they are expired. Ah, good for you, man. Did you hear that? That's awesome. Jeff, I called 100% gain trade in the regular afterburner today just to talk that one up. It might be a 200% gain in a minute. Wow, that's great. Paul, Wiz, after 3 years with you, I'm starting to understand how to use the bear call spread and bull put spreads. Thank you. Awesome, Paul. Shit hot, man. I'm glad the lights are turning on. Yeah, so guys, listen to me. Your trade does not it expires today. When does it settle? Tomorrow. Let's just use Friday since this is a weird 3-day weekend thing. Ladies and gentlemen, when you Chicago, the busiest day of the month in Chicago used to be Saturdays, the third Saturday of every month. Why? Because that's when trades, quote, settle. You'd have to go in with your book, folks. In the old days, man, you had a book and you'd go in and settle, right? So Saturdays are when settlements occur, right? So trades, the options settlement occurs Saturday morning, Saturday, baby. When I wake, so this is Susie's account. If Apple closes above 367.5 today, tomorrow, Susie's shares will be swept out of her account. These 1,400 shares go away. If they don't, either way, Susie makes on this covered on these calls she sold the other day. She brings in $2,900, regardless of where Apple closes today. If it closes above 367.5, right? When she sold 14 of the 367.5 calls the other day, remember, sellers have obligations. Susie is with 14 contracts, she is obligated to deliver 1,400 shares at 367.5. If it ain't above 367.5, she keeps that. Even if it is above 367.5, she keeps that. But tomorrow morning, her shares will be swept out of her account. Okay. End of market trading. Yeah. Jeff, do you ever buy the covered calls back if they go in the money, or do you let the no? Jeff, it depends. So, like, what was it last week? Over in my personal account, I bought a shitload of I think like 4,000 shares of Microsoft. I sold whatever strike, and Microsoft started to run, and I'm like, okay, it's gonna run. So I got out of them like within 10 minutes of selling the calls. I bought them back, and Microsoft went up like another $3 or $4. I think it was that day. So it depends, Jeff. It's one of those. If Apple's like, if Apple started to go on a tear for some reason, I'd get out of them right away and let it ride. Does that make sense? Rick, exactly. Would it be too early to do that Iron Condor on Lulu, like adding the bull put spread? Yes. So, guys, even though, I rambled through this, but let me say it again. Even though I drew the big C, little b on the screen, cautiously bullish. Look at the trend here: implosion, bounce, implosion, bounce. Do we get an implosion? I don't think this is this right now, guys. Look at the market action, man. The market, went up. 8:30, the jobs report came out, so the future spiked, and I knew it was going to fade, right? Disney move continues, went from being down 70% to up 70% today. Isn't this awesome? I love this. Earlier in the week, I'm like, man, I'm going to be the windshield this week. Or no, the bug, whatever, however that thing goes. Yeah. Keep an eye on Disney, though, guys. I mean, it's up, I'm up, or Susie's up, whatever it is. It's wow, the Dow's only up 138. Man, this thing really, the air is really coming out of this thing. All right, let me go back to my account because I might want to close my bear call spread on the S&P. All right, let me get out of her account and because I want to do the Lulu trade. Yeah, this folks, always remember this thing can always turn around. So if you're hitting profit targets, stay disciplined, man. I've seen weird. I get it. It's Friday. I gave you my strategic mindset for the week that we're not gonna, we should be just either flat or give a lot back into the close. Oh, you know what? That's a bad one, Pam. I did get wrong. XLY. I got blown out of XLY this week because of Amazon. That was just I got that was yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Pam. That's a bad for the week. I did get filled on XLY and solo Amazon. I usually don't cover solo Amazon because this is the full throttle weekly debrief, but we can talk through XLY. It's too late for a repair trade on that. I probably should have done that already, and that just dogfighting Lulu. I didn't. But yeah, let's take a look at XLY. And this. So the SPX spreads up $3,200. We're up. What's that? 90. That's a 70-some% gain. I'm probably going to 78% gain, guys. I'm going to get out of that. So there's 3,700, almost $4,000, and the $3,000 from Microsoft. That's a good $7,000 today to take some of the red out of that XLY. That sucks. Oh, let me do my Lulu now. I have enough coin, right? And Susie's beating me year to date, man. I did not. Yeah, I got enough. But let me do Lulu first, and then I'll cover XLY because I need to get some Lulu on yet. Look at that gap. Look at that next print down. Damn it. I'd love to see that thing implode into the hell. I did a bunch of, like I said, the calls, repaired, blah blah blah. Hell, this thing. What if it closes underneath 300? I might have to go down on this thing. Damn, it's running away to the downside. Burn, baby, burn. 60. Don't revenge trade though, right? I'm just staying in Lulu because I think it's going to give up the ghost. But remember never to revenge trade. Like, oh, I lost money in this name, so I'm going to go after it. All right, I'll do 60. But it's not revenge trading if you know the name and you have good commit criteria and you're going to stick with it, right? All right, XLY. Gary, the MGM bear call spread. MGM pricing has been weird. Everything's been weird with MGM. My sin buddy can't explain it. I'm not a market maker or an expert in the sin stocks. I trade them, but something's weird with the MGM pricing. I just don't. I don't understand it. So thanks for bringing that up because I'm working on that. Yeah, of course, XLY. There you go. I mean, a repair trade for who was asking. If you think we're going to fade the rest of the day, you could do a 130, 130 and a half bear call spread. But you got to be careful. I think the rest of the day we kind of give back the, I think we give back the ghost, right? Patrick, very well done, folks. So Marilyn, whoever it was, asked about XLY. I didn't do this on XLY. Excuse me. This is a failure on my part. I got a little. This is another reason why you shouldn't trade that many names. I got trade saturated this week, but Patrick just said another lesson learned this week. When XLY started its tear, I closed the short leg. He closed the short calls and kept the long calls. Ended up making $4,100 overall on the trade by managing the legs. Does that make sense? So everybody look at this. I'm gonna show. You can see how he typed it. So there you go. So there's a fellow squadron mate who did the Lord's work. Excellent management out of Sledge, managing that trade. That is just fantastic work there, man. I did not do that. I did that on Lulu, and because I was focused on Lulu. That's bad. That's not good on my part. But Patrick, great work. So, good lessons learned this week on Lulu. Good lessons learned this week on XLY, which I personally failed on. But if you wanted to, maybe do a bear call spread right now, you could, maybe that one. It looks like everything, that the air is coming out of everything right now, which is fantastic. Kevin's out of SPX for an 85% profit in, what was that, an hour? Good work, guys. Very, very good work. This was a good week, man. This was a good blue collar. Look at that. So implosion, half the gap, implosion. We'll see if it fails right here, man. It's going to be another lookout below. I'm going to close my SPX too because I'm going to post everything, but then I'm going to. I'm essentially done for the day, man. Supreme Court will decide. Disclosure of Mueller. Okay, that's not important. That's not important. Hold on, let me check. Always halfway through my briefs, I always gotta check my text messages in case I can pass anything on to you guys. Nope. All right. Any other question? This will be interesting right here, man. Trying to push it back up to half the gap. Jan, I answered that about 90 times. You got to watch the replay. We talked about a bull put spread on Lulu. I covered that several times throughout the brief. Folks, we got to listen, man. We got to listen, or you got to be on time. I covered Lulu ad nauseum and the Iron Condor and everything. So please, I'm not going to repeat. Okay. I think we're good. Yeah, I'm closing mine. Great SPX trade. Good Microsoft trade. Some other shitty trades. I'm going to close this one. Yeah, I'll put it in at 20. Okay. Yeah. Happy 4th, everybody. It sucks. I'm a 4th of July guy. What the hell's going on with Lulu? Holy crap. I'm a 4th of July guy. Seriously, celebrating our nation's independence from a dictator, from a king, and starting this, what was the greatest nation on the earth. I think it still is. I'm celebrating, Maryland. Don't get me wrong. We're having people. That's the other thing I got to do. After yoga, I'm going to Fred's fireworks stand down in Pompano, and I am buying a militia. We're doing fireworks. Don't get me wrong. We usually go to the Boca Resort and watch them there, but it's closed. Paul Trump spoke at 9:30, like at market open. So yeah, everybody have a happy 4th. I am missing a beautiful weekend in South Jersey. I'd love to be on the boardwalk, watching fireworks, eating a cheesesteak, eating a slice of za, curled up with the oil running down my arm and burning it. It's fantastic. Oh, you know what? I didn't. But yeah, guys, I still love this country, but wow, look at MGM. I still love this country, but it's getting hard. JW, great question to ask at the end. Why aren't you letting SPX expire today? Because I guarantee you, JW, first of all, the immediate answer to your question is it's at my profit target. For a credit spread, 70, if I'm looking at a 70, 80, 6, 7, 8, 7, if it hits my profit target, I get out. I guarantee you, JW, I go to yoga, I get my car, And I look, and the market completely turned around. And I turned a 70, 80% winning trade into a 100% loser. Right? So, Werner, there is no but. Remember your oath. Werner, I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. The domestic enemies of the United States are trying to overthrow essentially this government. Looting, rioting, murder, lawlessness. Oh, I remember my oath, man. These charts suck. Trust me, I remember my oath. I'm not a guy that forgets it. I think a lot of other people in this country have forgotten their oath. Mayors, governors, Democrats. I can't believe, man, we let a major portion of an American city get overrun for a week or so with lawlessness, and 2 teenagers got murdered. And the only reason the mayor ordered that thing, the cops in and closed, is because Antifa and all these threatened her $7 million home. Exactly. So I didn't finish answering JW. Why would I close my, not let this spread expire worthless? I would rather take a $3,800 profit than a 100% loss. It's up 82% right now. Why wouldn't you close it? Let me ask you, why wouldn't you close that trade right now? I'm telling you, man, with my luck, at 3:45 today, Jesus Christ beams back down to earth and says he's buying the S&P 500, and it goes up 1,000. I'm telling you that would happen. Do not turn a 80% winning trade into a 100% loser. Does everybody understand that? Brian. I will say this. That is a floor term. Don't be a dick for a tick. Get out of it. It is called Murphy's Law. Okay. All right, guys. Please. JP, good point. Everyone needs to watch Lulu. May be able to get out for some loss versus full loss. It's going down, and I'm not filled on it, of course. So my original bear call spread. Holy shit, man. Yeah, this thing going into the afternoon could just do the slide for life. You never know, man. So anyway, all right, guys. I'm good. Interesting week. That was a crazy week, man. And that was some blue collar work this week. We did a lot of really good work this week in the Afterburner group. So the regular Afterburner group is over here. The Max Afterburner group is over here, and we are all my trades are posted live throughout the day here. And we do some really good stuff here. So shoot me an email if you want to get into it. Kristen, we have a Kristen who just joined, and we have who else just joined? The hell's your name, man? I'm sorry. A former Tomcat guy, a 14 guy. So we have 2 new members over here in the Max Afterburner group. So you bet, guys. Yeah, happy 4th of July. It was an honor to serve. And hopefully we can turn this nightmare around. This is going to be ugly, man. I think Lulu's going to have an ugly close today. So, okay, awesome. Happy 4th of July. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. God bless you guys, and God bless the United States of America. I will talk to you on Monday. We'll see you.